What's going on, everybody out there? This is Popular Stranger, and we are back at you again today with another College Football 26 Ultimate Team video. In today's video, we're going to be going over everything that you need to be doing on day one to build your Cut 26 squad. So let's go ahead and jump right on into it. A lot to go over. Happy early release day if you pre-ordered the deluxe edition of CFB 26 or the MVP bundle that gives you Madden 26 and CFB 26. You should have 3-day early access, meaning you can play the game right now. If you did not pre-order one of those editions, you're going to have to wait until Friday. And I'm sure a lot of you are wondering, what do I do with my pre-order content, specifically with the pre-order points? There's a lot of stuff coming out this week, a lot of programs. I would hold off on spending it right away. Now, we'll go through the store and show you the various options you have right now, but the cards are only going to get better as the year goes on, so there's not really a huge rush to spend those points if I was you. Now, when you first log in, you're going to get your pre-order packs, hopefully, and then a bunch of other stuff like welcome packs, specifically for Season 1. We're going to focus on all of that in a different video because I am going to actually go no money spent for Cut 26 this year, and much like my series for Madden 25 Ultimate Team, we're going to do individual episodes breaking down literally everything that I do to build up my squad. That's going to include opening pre-order packs and any free packs that I might earn from solo challenges. So anything that I have right here, I'm going to hold off on opening outside of the Season 1 welcome pack. Let's go ahead and open that up. So obviously Season 1 is going to be, you guessed it, the first season of the Cut 26 year. And you're going to get this Kendrick Folk. Now this card eventually can be upgraded to an 85 OVR, and you're going to need tokens to do so. We'll go through the whole Season 1 field pass and everything you need to know about it and how you're going to get those tokens to take him to an 85 OVR. But outside of opening up all of your pre-order packs, the main thing that I would do to start it out is jumping over to your solo challenges and getting your playbooks ready to go. So there's a bunch of solos that you can play, and specifically early access probably should be one of the first things you do as well, because these are only going to be available for the next 3 days. You got, it looks like 50 stars worth of rewards, some very lower overall B&D packs, and some small coin amounts. But if you paid for the early access, you might as well take advantage. Not only is there an early access solo challenge sequence, there's also an early access field pass. So we'll show you that when we get to the field passes. But going back to the playbooks, you want to look for the sequences that say what's your offense and what's your defense. You want to get these situated. Also, these could actually turn into a way to make coins for the people that are just going to go out there and not want to be bothered with solos and going to be wanting to buy playbooks ASAP. So when you look through these, there's basically a sequence for each type of playbook in the game. You can see that I've already played the multiple playbook sequence, and the way it works is once you beat the very first solo, you're going to get, in this instance, the multiple offensive playbook. But if you beat the third solo and you have to max out the stars here, you're going to get a fantasy pack that contains all of the multiple offenses per team, and you're going to get to pick the one that you want. Now, the main way that I know of where you can find what playbook belongs in what category is jumping over to the catalog, use your type filter, and go to playbooks. This is going to show you every team's playbook in the game, but more importantly, and I'm going to use Minnesota as an example, if I go find them within the catalog, you're going to be able to see here, right, that their offense is considered multiple O. Now, it's kind of hard to see, but if I actually select the item, again, bottom left part of the card art, Minnesota offensive playbook is under multiple O. So that's why I played that sequence right away. When I open up that fantasy pack, I can now go through and select this playbook. This just happens to be the playbook that I know that I'm going to be running day one. Now, eventually, I will have a video on this channel going over the best playbooks to use, but over on my gameplay channel, and it's not there at this very moment that I'm recording, but by the time a lot of you watch this video, it will be there. I already have a day one mini scheme from the Minnesota offensive playbook that you can run if you're feeling lost on offense or you just want some guidance. This is my gameplay channel that we're looking at, and it is going to be linked down below in the comment section as a pinned comment. You can expect a ton of offense and defensive videos to help you gameplay-wise, schemes, tips, and tricks, things like that. I'm going to be very dedicated to uploading on this gameplay channel a lot this year for college football and Madden. So go subscribe to this, and if you want some help on offense to start out day one, we'll have a video there for you very soon. Now, if you strictly want to make some coins or explore other playbooks, I can tell you one of the main playbooks that you're probably going to see a lot of people in early on is actually the Oregon State offensive playbook, which also will be in that multiple O fantasy pack. I would assume that as the word gets out, and it's kind of getting out there already, that people want this playbook. This one could end up being kind of pricey. So with any playbook in the game, go find the team in the catalog, and either on the offense or defensive side of the ball. I know Miami's another pretty popular one that people are going to be using. You know, this one's going to be in the air raid solo sequences. So you're going to get an air raid playbook, which is kind of generic. But once you knock out the 3 solos within that sequence, you're going to get a fantasy pack. And again, just an example here, the Miami Hurricanes offensive playbook will be in that specific fantasy pack. In the store, you also have fantasy packs that will cost you 4,500 coins. Some people early on might not know about these. That's why the other free playbooks could eventually sell for some decent coin early on. But if you do want to spend your coin, you got fantasy packs for both sides of the ball where you can choose the playbook of your choice as well. So going back over to your solo challenges, I would knock out not only the early access solos, but your offense and defensive sequences here. I showed you what I did on offense. I just went with multiple so far on the defensive side of the ball. But again, you beat the very first solo with 1 star. You get the base defensive playbook. And if you go down to the third section of solos, you're going to have that fantasy pack where you can choose out of all of the multiple defenses in the game, team specific. Outside of that, there's not a ton of solos to play per se. I mean, you have a bunch of like very early kind of learning the game type things that aren't going to be incredibly rewarding, but there is also the Tower of Valor. So this at launch is definitely underwhelming, but eventually could lead to some good stuff. So if you go to the beginning sequence, you only have 10 stars that you can earn. If you look at the milestone rewards, that's basically going to get you 2 coin packs and a 73 plus B&D player. Later on down the road, you will get an 85 overall B&D AJ Harris. The downside to this is if it's not available within like the first 2 weeks of this game being launched, it's going to be kind of outdated pretty quickly. There's a lot of cards in the game from pre-order packs and things of that nature that are going to be in that 83 to 85 OVR range. So the sooner we can get this, the better, but you might as well hit the ground running on these and knock them out. So whenever they introduce the next sequence, you can get the next group of stars and get closer to 30. The good news is, though there is a lack of solo challenges to play right now that are incredibly rewarding, we do have solo seasons again. And not only do we have the regular solo seasons, which are repeatable, and you can play these as much as you want, you know, this is a way to coin farm. It's a way to technically get unlimited coins. Now, you're not going to get a million coins on day 1 here, but playing through all American seasons, which is going to be the most difficult, and if your team really stinks, like I got a 63 OVR right now, I might have to jump into varsity or freshman seasons. Unfortunately, these won't pay out as much, but all American seasons, number one, there's no entry fee to get into it, so it is repeatable and unlimited, but it's also not going to cost you anything. You win 5 games, you're going to make it to the playoffs, which will give you additional rewards, but just for the 5 wins in the regular season, you get 6,500 coins. Not a lot when you say it out loud, but these coin values will add up, and once you get to the playoffs and win some national championships, you'll get not only more coins, but you're also going to get some free packs that could have some decent players in there. If anything, they're going to be building blocks to upgrading your team, especially if you're no money spent. You also appear to get 1,000 coins per win. So on top of the 6.5K, you basically got another 5K your way. So you're really making 11,500 coins for every 5 wins, and that's before the playoff rewards. We also have a brand new solo game mode called Study Hall this year, which is kind of like MUT Champs, but an offline version, maybe closer to solo battles in Madden Ultimate Team. And this one is going to be a 12-game series, strictly against the computer. Now, you're either going to have to spend 50K to get into it, or if you log in once per week, you get a Study Hall entry token. I'm assuming that we all have 1 token to begin with here, but the difficulty against the computer will escalate every win that you get, and you're trying to score battle score. I don't think there's any chart or any information out there that states, you know, exactly what you get for each action within the game. At the end of the day, just try to beat the computer, blow them out here, and as your battle score goes up, your rewards will increase. Now, I believe you will get every single reward in here. So once you get to 15K battle score, you get 5,000 coins. Then the freshman level, which is 40K battle score, you get another 5K. It continues to be 5K until it gets to the back half here, where then the reward's going to increase to 10,000 coins. In totality, if you can reach the Campus Legend tier with a 200,000 battle score in those 12 games, and again, I'll have to play through these and do the math and see exactly how easy that's going to be, but you can earn 60,000 coins. Again, when you say these things out loud, it doesn't sound like a lot, but really 60k early week 1 of a game, especially during early access here, is a decent amount of coins, specifically if you're a no money spent player. So you got solo challenges, but you also have all of these offline game modes that you can play, and there's more on the way. There's more content drops, name of the game, fresh faces. I think one of them's called Standouts. We did a video last night after the reveal stream covering all of the content that's going to be coming this week. There's a lot more on the way. We're just talking day 1 on what you need to be doing. If you're really a competitive player, if you're spending money in this game, if you got a decent team day 1 or week 1, of course, you can jump into the online game modes. I'm not really going to cover those in this video because I want to talk about the things you can do offline to build up your team without spending money and just kind of taking advantage of everything that's in the game with early access. And that's going to include, as I mentioned earlier, the early access field pass. So if you take a look, there are 4 field passes in the game at launch. 3 of them are pretty simple and straightforward. You got the orientation, which you're just going to naturally knock out these objectives playing the game, playing through the solos. And with any field pass, just simply playing the game is not going to level up these field passes. You're going to get XP based on the objectives that are in each individual field pass. That XP is going to level up, but you can see these are things that are just naturally going to come along here. There's some specific game modes that you got to go through and play. There is like an ongoing house rules called Overtime that you can play, and that's, I'm believing or assuming, is going to be around for the entire year and actually has rewards this year, unlike last year, so you can check that out as well. But the orientation field pass, you should just organically get through. We also have the early access field pass, which again is only going to be available for a couple days here, so certainly take advantage of that. But you can see it's all pretty much statistical objectives that you're going to need to complete, and as you do that, you're going to get rewards, a bunch of lower overall packs and coin rewards, but at the very end, you do get a B&D Rare Fantasy Pack at level 10 when you max it out, which might contain something good for you to jumpstart your team. We also have a daily login field pass, which is huge in my opinion because all you have to do is log in to get this stuff, and it's not the best rewards in the world, but for the lack of effort that it really takes to get through this, I'll take free coins and free players and free strategy items any day. So basically every day that you log in, you're going to get a brand new reward. And at the very end of it, day number 36, you get an 87 overall B&D player pack. Now, obviously, if you do the math in your head here, that's going to be 36 days or technically 35 days away now. So you're not going to be able to have this player anytime soon. And I don't know what OVRs we're going to be at that point, but a nice reward just simply for logging in. So try to do that every single day and make it a habit. And then that finally brings us over to the Season 1 Field Pass, which we broke down a little bit last night in Reveal Stream, but this is where you're going to get all of your main rewards. Now, EA did bring something over that they had in MUT last year to College Ultimate Team, and I'm not surprised at all. We do have a premium field pass. It's going to cost you about $15. I'm going to go no money spent this year, so I'm going to pass on this one. But if you are a money spender or you're just kind of up in the air, if there's anything you're going to spend money on, I'd rather you do it on premium field passes than packs, because you're leaving packs up to chance, whereas these premium field passes, you're getting bonus rewards basically at every single level of the field pass. If you want to buy it later, all of these rewards should come back to you eventually, and if you do purchase it right now, you have some instant rewards here, an 80 plus overall B&D premium fantasy pack. But if you scroll through the list of rewards, the one that has this little crown in the upper left part of the corner there, that indicates the premium reward. So at level 4, for example, everybody's going to get 400 trophies. But if you purchase that premium pack, you also get a team playbook pack, and the rewards are going to get better as you go up there. But if you want extra rewards for $15, I definitely think it's worth it. A lot of this stuff is pretty straightforward as far as the rewards go, but the 3 main rewards that you're striving for within this field pass, number 1, are going to be trophies. We'll show you in the store exactly how you can spend those. And as you can see, for an example here at level 21, you do have a premium reward for trophies. So the free pass will not get these 650 trophies, but for the $15 you will. You're going to want to collect as many of those as you can, because you're going to be able to use those towards good things. But the other 2 main rewards in this field pass will be at level 50, which certainly is not going to be achievable just yet, but eventually you will get this 87 overall Xavier Scott for free. And then you also have a Season 1 upgrade token at level 51. This token will be able to take any of the Season 1 players and upgrade them, I believe, to an 87 overall when Season 2 starts. If you go into the item within the catalog or directly from the Field Pass, you can read the description there right above my face cam. So those, if there's one level that you have to get to, especially in a Season 1, it's definitely going to be level 51, but you do have additional rewards after that, a lot of those being trophies, coins, and then these, like rare BND fantasy packs, which were really good to start out the year last year. They kind of got worse as time went on in Cut 25, but overall, there's everything in the Season 1 Field Pass that you can earn. And again, I just got to restate this, just simply playing the game will not do anything. You have to knock out objectives. You got your daily objectives, which I believe are going to refresh every day around 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, but content more than likely will drop every day at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time, which I know can be a little confusing for people, but stay on top of your dailies. You're also going to have objectives that come out every single week, and then milestones. These will get added onto every week. Hopefully they don't take away the week 1 objectives. They'll just add on to this and make a tab for week 2. Early on in Cut 25, they took the week 1s away and replaced them with week 2 and then 2 to 3 and so forth. Later on in the Cut 25 year, they just added on to these. But overall, really, you can knock out all of these objectives, but if you're not fairly consistent with your dailies, that could prevent you from maxing out this Field Pass and missing out on free rewards. Let's close it out with pack offers and things in the store right now. Again, you're probably itching to spend those pre-order points, which I don't have on my account just yet, but hopefully they will load in soon here. When I drop the first episode of my No Money Spent series, which I think is going to be today, I will talk about the best options to use those pre-order points on. But like I said in the beginning of the video, for me, I will probably hang on to those and wait for some of the bigger promos once we start to go up in OVR. But you got a lot of different packs here. It's probably going to be a little bit overwhelming. There's coin packs. Obviously, going back to the orientation tab, make sure you open up that 100 coin pack. There's a daily recruit pack that refreshes every single day. Make sure you open that up, get into a habit of it. But if you are going to spend money or pre-order points on anything and you don't want to wait, platinum packs are always going to be the route to go, because platinum cards quick sell for coin, and at the end of the day, outside of money, coin is always going to be king in any Ultimate Team game mode. So with that being said, I would focus on the rare platinum pack or the weekly platinum pack, which is a step offer. You spend a little under $5, you get some platinum cards that will unlock the next deal, which you're probably going to end up getting the ability to spend another like $10 and get a few more platinum cards. These, in my experience, like these junior and sophomore bundles in last year's game, they were not worth it at all. There is also early access packs available right now. You have a very cheap B&D pack, a mid-tier bundle, if you will, and then a very expensive bundle. If you're just saying, whatever, I'm spending as much money as I want to today, I'm sure going after the early access bundle is the move. You are guaranteed an 85 plus player, and there are players like Brian Urlacher and Ricky Williams that are only in packs during the early access period, and Ricky Williams probably the best running back in the game. So these early access bundles might give you a good shot at getting those players. I would not recommend spending any money on B&D packs right now. I'm assuming at some point we might start to see booster packs, which were incredibly popular in last year's game, as we get new promos this week, but I don't see any in there right now. And again, to me, booster packs do give you a shot at new cards, but you're getting a lot of B&D, and that B&D is essentially going to lead to training, and there's just not really anything to spend training on these days. So I would stay away from anything spending money that gives you B&D cards this early in the year. You do have your level packs, so every time you hit a new level, 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50, early on you can spend coin or money, then it moves only over to money. You can open these up as you get there. I don't know if you can get to level 20 today. I'm assuming you can probably get to level 10, but the chances of you getting something amazing in that pack is probably going to be slim. Some of you might. Now, let's talk about trophies. You're going to earn these throughout the Season 1 Field Pass, as we showed you. The Kendrick Falk upgrade tokens can be purchased with trophies. 5 tokens gets them to an 85. 5 tokens available, 700 each here. You have a featured player in Fernando Carmona for 7,000 trophies, and then you have these individual players at 81, 83 OVRs. But remember, these are the guys right now that can be upgraded to an 87 OVR once the season is over. I think my plan of attack, because I'm going no money spent, is I will probably not go rushing to spend any of my trophies, especially on any of these cards, including the upgraded player. I rather see, once we start to get some new promos, exactly what other packs they might add in here, and at the very end of the season, I will probably purchase the one player that I know I want to upgrade to an 87 OVR once Season 2 goes live, when I get that level 51 upgrade token. So none of these players are really like must-haves, and I just feel like eventually trophies will be able to be spent in a better way outside of what's available right now. The Carmona card's really good, and I believe he's a left tackle, so he's at a position, you know, that you probably don't want to spend your coins on, but it's a pretty high price point this early on in the year. So right now, I would stack trophies, go knock out your solos, jump into those offline solo season game modes, and just kind of grind out, get a feel for the game, build up your team. And as we get more promos this week, with a lot more cards coming into the game, that's when you want to focus on upgrading and building up your team, whether you're no money spent or a money spender. There's going to be way more pack offers, more things to do for online and offline game modes to earn more free content. You don't have to have the best team today, tomorrow, or even the next day, guys. Cards are only going to get better, so get all that offline boring stuff out of the way so you can set yourself up in a good position to have a great Cut 26 year. And I will be here all year helping you guys out, so make sure you subscribe if you're new. Thank you for watching. My name is Popular Stranger. I'm out. Peace.